Today, we learn how to overhead press. Hello and welcome to Redline Fitness. My name is Thaddeus. Thanks for watching our video today. We'd like to invite you to subscribe to our YouTube channel and click the notification bell below so you get an alert anytime we post a video just like this one. We'd like to also invite you to follow us on your choice of social media at Redline Fitness X. So today, we're going to go to the gym and we are going to work on the overhead press. Now, I know bench press is a really fun exercise to do, and it's the one that a lot of us focus on when we think of upper body. However, I will argue all day long that the overhead press is the lift that's going to let you know just how strong you are or aren't. Now, I also want you to know that the barbell overhead press is going to be a little more front delt dominant, and the dumbbell overhead press is going to be a little more side delt dominant. That's why I recommend that either you have a shoulder day where you are using both of those movements together, or you are doing a couple of different upper body days, and on one of those days you're doing overhead press with a barbell, and on a different day you're doing overhead press with dumbbells, so you're getting those different ranges of motion and those different angles hitting your delts. Now, to start with, I would recommend that you do your barbell press standing up. It forces you to engage your core, and it is a more challenging lift. I would recommend that you do your dumbbell overhead presses seated, but that is not required. It's just something that I find comfortable for me, and it allows me when I do seated dumbbell overhead presses to do a little more weight. So I like to be able to do those seated. But starting with the barbell overhead press. First thing, when you grip the bar, you need to make sure that your elbows, wrists, and shoulders are all in a good position, and a strong position. You need to make sure that you have your hands just outside of your shoulders before you lift the bar off for doing your overhead press. Once you have the bar off, I want you to make sure that you are pressing it, not pushing it. What do I mean by that? An overhead press is when you keep your body still. The only thing that may move a little bit are your hips. Your head's going to move, and we'll talk a little bit here in a little bit why. And then, of course, your shoulders and your elbows. Once you start lifting that weight, you need to make sure that you are controlling it all the way up, all the way down. Do not be bouncing it off of your collarbone. Do not be bouncing it off of your neck. Don't be leaning so far back that you're turning it into basically an incline bench press. You need to be standing as upright as possible. Now, I know when you start to overload your shoulders a little bit and start putting heavier weights on there, you may bend back a little bit. That's fine. Just be careful with your lower back, because the lower back is one of those muscle areas. Those spinal erectors can get banged up real easily, whether you're doing squats, deadlifts, and presses will do that as well. I would also recommend, if you are doing if you're wanting to figure out what your max is when you're overhead pressing, I would recommend that you do like a 3-rep total, that you don't try to just do a 1-rep max. And I would also recommend on those days that you use a belt. What that does is the belt is on the outside of your spine, and when you take a big breath, your diaphragm pushes your spine into the belt and holds your spine nice and tight while you're doing the pressing motion, and that will really, really go a long way in protecting your back. Now, for the actual motion itself, you want the bar to go mostly straight up and down. And of course, if you were to do this and not move your head, you would knock yourself out. And I will admit, yes, I've smacked myself in the chin, in my earlier days of lifting, not quite getting my rhythm down properly, doing an overhead press. As you press the weight up, you need to pull your head back out of the way, and then as the bar clears your head, push your head back forward, and the bar should be finishing right over your shoulders. Your shoulders, your booty, and your heels should all be in a straight line when you finish the rep. As you bring it back down, you move your head back, let the bar come down to your collarbone area. Now, I personally prefer to actually rest it on my chest, right around my collarbone, and then come almost like a deadlift, come to a dead stop, and then press it back up, okay? If you don't have the mobility or it's uncomfortable for you to touch it against your chest, it's not the end of the world if you don't bring it all the way down. I know some of us that are form Nazis, we don't like it when you shorten your form, but it is absolutely fine if that's going to protect your shoulders for you to not quite come down that far on your overhead press. Now, when it comes to breathing, if you go out and watch a different variety of YouTube videos, you're going to hear a few different things about breathing. A lot of this depends on how much weight you're doing, but here's what I'm going to teach you. If you're my client, I'm going to teach you to take in a big breath, press the weight up, and hold the breath as much as you can and let it out as the weight's coming back down. At the top, you can let your breath out a little bit. Some people do that, and it's not going to be the end of the world. The reason I try to stay away from letting my breath out that early is because you start to lose some of your core strength when you let your breath out. So play around with it a little bit when you're doing, it's like if you're lifting the bar or lifting a lightweight, feel what feels right for you to keep yourself sturdy and strong so you have a really strong base when you're breathing through the exercise. I would not recommend that you breathe out as you finish the rep. I would recommend that you either breathe out once the rep is over your head or, like I said, as it's coming down. But if you really need to breathe out, like, you start to get lightheaded or you feel more comfortable breathing out as you're going up, that is perfectly acceptable. Next, when you are doing your reps, do not fly through them. This is not a marathon. This is not a race. If you're able to go really fast, up and down, up and down, up and down, you're not using enough weight. Okay? Your intensity is way too low. Also, don't screw around getting the weight above your head. Drive it up, be strong, own it, and get it over your head, get it back down. I would highly recommend that if you are a beginner, that you're doing 3 to 4 sets of about 12 reps. I want you to get as much volume on those delts as you can. If you are an experienced lifter and you're really trying to get your numbers up, I still want you to do a little bit of volume. I'd like to see you do 4 sets of 8. And if you can get a +1 on your 4th set, so if you can get 9 on your 4th set, then go up and weight the following week. So there you have it. That's our tutorial on how to do the overhead press. Look, I know I've said before that I'm not a huge fan of doing form videos because there are a lot of really good tutorials out there already. And a lot of times when we post tutorial videos, we have people in the comment sections that just want to argue about certain elements. Look, with every lift, we have different body types, we have different things that we can and can't do, so I understand that there are some differences between each person when they are doing a lift, just like the overhead press. Thanks for watching our video today. I really appreciate the support. We appreciate all that you guys have to say. If you have any questions, concerns, comments, please put those down in the comment section below and we will absolutely get back to you. Also, feel free to contact us at Redline Fitness X. You can do that anywhere, Parler, Instagram, Facebook, etc. You can get a hold of us just about any way you need to, and we always respond to people. So, thanks again for watching our video. We hope that this helps you on your fitness journey. And as always, remember to challenge yourself.